Hey, how you all doing? Um, a while back, I started discussing Ned, um, and we discussed the life of Ned. Um, how he was kind of an introvert, kind of a loner. One day, he took in a single mom and her kids. They took over his place, never even acknowledged that he was there. All he wanted was to be part of their family. And one day, he finally got noticed by him. Well, that's where I'm going to pick up today. Ned, from the day they showed up, he watched over them. He made sure they were safe. He would check on the kids at night and her, make sure they were safe, they were sleeping, wasn't about to let anybody harm them. All Ned ever wanted was to be part of their family, to be noticed, to be just the smallest part. Well, one day it happened. He was noticed. He finally got his wish. They realized Ned was there in every possible way they could. And this is where it gets sad. The man who took them in and let them live in his home died at their hands or feet, we should say. It all started with a scream. Mom comes running in the room, sees Ned in the corner. Kids are screaming at him, screaming and yelling for no fucking reason, because Ned hadn't done anything. Ned was just being Ned. He was just living and watching out for everybody. But they could never grasp that concept. It was always about them. And it was just, they were users. They were horrible people. Well, Mom killed Ned. Very brutally. I'd talked before about how Ned was kind of a small, unassuming fella. Well, after she brutally beat him to death, she then posted comments on Facebook. This is where I came across the story. And she was messaging with some of her friends about Ned and his death. And just the nonchalantness of the whole thing. She actually commented to me that Ned got what he deserved. She curb stomped him. Let that sink in. She killed him. She curb stomped him to death. All right? Well, there were never any arrests made in the death of Ned. There was never any charges filed. Nobody ever paid the price for the death of Ned. To this day, that mom and her kids live in that house where she killed Ned. There's not even any sign that he was ever there. There's no remorse on her behalf for curb stomping him to death. She laughed about it. She thought it was funny. Never for a second realizing that he was a life, that he had the right to live. Well, I'm gonna start a Facebook campaign here next week, and it will be Justice for Ned. I'm gonna do a fundraiser selling Justice for Ned t-shirts, and I will post all this stuff early next week. 100% of the profits from the Justice for Ned shirts is going to be donated to an organization that's very dear to my heart, Crusaders for Children. It'll be donated in Ned's name. I'm going to see to it that Ned's not forgotten. So, watch for those posts. I'm going to share this on Facebook. I'll put pictures and links. I'll recap the story of Ned, his life and his death. I'll have photos of Ned and photos of the shirts and links to where you can buy the shirts. And 100% of the profits of these shirts will be donated in Ned's name. I'm thinking I've got to do the final math in the next couple of days, but I think the cost of the shirts, you know, after all the product and assembly and all that crap, it's not going to be very expensive. I'm thinking I can probably, you know, get them down around 15-20 bucks a shirt, with a good 5 to 10 bucks being a profit that is donated in his name. I'll work out all those details, and that will be in the Facebook post. But just take a second and remember Ned. And we need justice for Ned. God bless you all. Have a good night.